What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? Another fine evening to you. I'm coming back to you tonight with another Final Fantasy XI video. And tonight I'm going to try something that I have not done, admittedly, in years. So tonight, I'm going to try Dynamis for the first time in probably a decade, maybe more. So here's the story on Dynamis. Back when I used to play in the Autoragon era, Dynamis was the only way to farm up your relic armor. Back then, no one did relic weapons because it was just insane. I mean, if you saw someone running around back then with a relic weapon, like Excalibur or something like that, they were a big freaking deal because nobody had the time or commitment to do that. I think in the time that I played on my server, I probably saw one person with Excalibur and one person with Aegis. So truth be told, it's definitely a lot different now than it was back then. But Dynamis is one of Final Fantasy XI's only forms of instance outside of the BC&Ms. And that instance allows you to go into a dream world version of each city and a lot of other areas and kill a whole bunch of enemies. And what you do is you collect currency from those enemies. Now that is going to be used to upgrade your armor, your weapons, so on and so forth, if I remember correctly. Now, if I say something tonight that's wrong and incorrect, feel free to correct me in the comments, bring some light to it, and I appreciate that because I am learning as we play this game. So, I'm on my thief because in my mind, it makes the most sense to go with a thief for treasure hunter and a dancer sub. So I haven't even unlocked Dynamis. I have never even begun the process of unlocking Dynamis on this character. I had it unlocked on my former character on the Vale4 server, have not done it on this one yet. So tonight, I'm going to take you guys step by step through the process of unlocking Dynamis, and hopefully by the time this video is done, we'll have made a pass and kind of seen how that went. So first things first, you're going to have the Rise of Zalard expansion pack. Now, to be fair, it's 2018, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have the Rise of Zalard expansion pack, something's wrong. Pretty sure you had to try harder not to have it than you did to actually have it. Because if I'm not mistaken, the original English version of the game shipped with Rise of Zalard already included. So that's kind of a given, but you have to have the Rise of Zalard expansion. You have to have a character level 65 or higher. I still recommend going in level 99 once you've got some reasonable 119 gear. If you don't know how to get a good set of 119 gear, there is a video below this one that will walk you through a really easy way to get into the 119 item level bracket. Matter of fact, I'll do about face here for you. This thief gear that I'm wearing is very, very basic, but this is the 119 homestead style equipment that you can get just from converting some bulb and Adolins. So 119 is not hard to accomplish nowadays. And I will show you guys, since the last time I did a video, my boy Vicious Mongoose has helped me, and I am now rocking the Asperity necklace, the Steel Flash earring, and the Bladeborn earring, which I'm extremely excited about because, man, I needed some accessories, something fierce. Now you're going to need your home nation Mission 5-2 completed in order to progress with the Dynamis content, and that's probably a given with you if you've been doing your Rhapsodies of Vana'diel quests and keeping up with those missions, keeping them current. Again, if you're curious on how that works and what you need to do with that, there is another video in this playlist that can help you get involved in that. So the main requirements are Rise of Zalard expansion pack, level 65, and complete your nation's Mission 5-2. At that point, according to the guide, when we zone into Zarqa, we should receive a cutscene that will allow us to step forward into this this quest series here. So I haven't done that yet, I don't think. Of course, I've been to Zarqa a few times, so I'm not sure if this cutscene has already played out or not. So we're about to find out. All right. So here's the Zarqa survival guide. We're gonna hit the button, teleport there, see what happens. So I'm in Zarqa now. I haven't received a cutscene yet. So maybe I've already had the cutscene occur? According to the guide, just so you guys know, all you should have to do is zone into Zarqa. So here I am in Zarqa, no cutscenes going on, so I'm guessing at some point I've already triggered the cutscene without knowing. So we're going to step to the next part of the quest. I'm going to head back. Okay, so according to the guide, the next step is going to be to examine trail markings in one of the major cities. I'm going to do Bastok first, obviously, because Bastok is my favorite nation. It's the place I'm most familiar with. So I don't really see in the guide where it tells me where the trail markings are, but I want to say that I remember from when I used to play that it's in the mines? Bastok mines, maybe? I know it's right in front of the Mog House area, so we're going to travel to the mines and see if we can't find them. Alright, here we are in Bastok mines. I'm going to take a trot over to the Mog House area. No trail markings so far. There they are. Yahtzee! Alright, so we're right outside of the Mog House area in Bastok mines. And here we go. Right behind the wall as you walk in, trail markings. Let's see what happens. Oh, there it is. Cutscene. I see you've met with Rogran. His soul's no longer confined to that incarnation of rage, the Shadow Lord. Yet the fact remains that he has committed sins beyond redemption. Well, that's pretty savage. In spite of those sins, I still wish to rescue him from the darkness. I no longer have a mortal body with which to act, so the most I can do is guide you in my stead. Well, alrighty then. You will need the Prismatic Hourglass, a key that bridges the void between Vana'diel and that other world. It is said that there are items in this world that gain a soul of their own through contact with thoughts and dreams of other living creatures. The Prismatic Hourglass is one of those items. You must look for the goblin peddlers. They're certain to have knowledge of the Prismatic Hourglass. When you have it safely within your grasp, seek out the markings that we left behind. Okay, so we got the Vial of Shrouded Sand. Step 1 taken care of. Our next step is going to be to find one of the goblin NPCs that will give you the Prismatic Hourglass. If I'm not mistaken, the easiest one for me is probably going to be Bedeau, because I am the most familiar with that area. So we're going to head over to Bedeau and see what we can find out from the goblin. Just as a quick side note here, guys, because I am doing a lot of traveling, this game is absolutely full of transportation needs. One of the biggest pet peeves I had about playing this game in 2003 to 2006 era was how ridiculously long it took to get anywhere. Sometimes it was so mind-bendingly frustrating that it just made you quit. So one big thing that I really want you guys to hone in on is transportation is so much simpler in this era. So these home point crystals that you see in the towns and all over the places, even outside of the major BCNMs now, incredible addition to the game. You can travel from those. All you have to do is walk up to one for the first time, unlock it. Now that does mean you're going to have to travel to it the first time, but outside of that, oh my gosh, does it make life so much simpler. The next step is going to be these survival guides. You're probably familiar with that already, but anytime you see these books out and about, click on them, it unlocks them, and you can warp there from anywhere in the world from any other survival guide at any time. It's absolutely incredible, and it makes travel so much simpler. I tell you guys that because you are going to be doing a lot of teleporting around, and these things are going to come in so handy. There is one more important part of this scenario, and that is to make sure that you get yourself one of these, a warp ring. Every 10 minutes it resets and allows you to warp. It is a godsend when you're doing missions or quests or anything like that. Even when you're just out gaining experience, it's an absolute lifesaver. I mean, it makes everything so much simpler. So highly advise you guys, make sure you've got a warp ring, and then also make sure you're picking up these survival guides and these home points everywhere you find one. There is not a single one that is insignificant, so get them all. I came to Bedeau just because, again, I'm very familiar with this area, as I came here quite a bit with my Bastok Nation missions. But you can go to any of the strongholds that are in your starting area. So if you would prefer to go to Devoy, or if you would prefer to go to Castle Oz, either one of those is going to be the same concept. So I just zoned into Bedeau, and right here is Hagelblix, which is the goblin that I'm going to be looking for. Prismatic Hourglass. Didn't think I'd ever hear those words from someone who wasn't a gob. You know some weird stuff for a person. There's a story that says some things have their own soul. The Prismatic Hourglass used to be just a simple hourglass, but as they passed through the hands of dozens of people, and even a few beastmen as well, the hourglass were transformed by all their thoughts and feelings. They had the ability to focus mysterious powers. In our travels through all the lands of this world, us goblins often came across this sort of thing. Now we come to the fun part. If you want the Prismatic Hourglass, I'd be willing to sell you one. And you should know that only gobs can tell if an item has its own soul. You people, heck, even other beastmen, have no idea. I've seen you guys throw away these items like they were junk. They may look like garbage, but sold items are rare and valuable. You still want an hourglass? You gotta cough up 50,000 gil. You want one? You hand me the money. Like with the quickness. So how's about it? Okay, so apparently after we go through all of his conversation, we need to open up trade with him. Now you're gonna need 50,000 gil to be able to trade to him. So we're gonna open up the trade menu. We're gonna go up to the money part. Go up to 50,000 because he's a greedy little gob. And we're gonna trade it. I didn't think there were people who love this sort of stuff as much as I do. You really understand what things are worth. I don't give discounts, but you're welcome to come back anytime. Prismatic Hourglass. Alright, so once upon a time, way back in the day, if I'm not mistaken, that Prismatic Hourglass that I just picked up for 50 grand was 1,000,000 gil. And now, again, it's, if you'll notice right there at the bottom, it says key item Prismatic Hourglass obtained. That means it's mine el permanente. Back in the good old days, that was not a permanent item. You had to pay 1,000,000 gil to get it every single time. The way the process used to work was you'd go through and recruit a bunch of people to join into a Dynamis run. You'd have a sponsor that was trying to unlock a relic weapon, and the sponsor would put up the 1,000,000 gil. Then all the people would join in. They would do the run with the ability to, through a point system or however they decided to set it up, throw lots out for the relic armor that dropped, because the relic armor would just drop in pieces. But the one person that sponsored the run would get all the currency, and the currency is what's used to upgrade the relic weapons. So that's what Dynamis used to be primarily focused on. From what I understand, the process is still alive and kicking to get the relic weapons, but apparently nowadays, because of Dynamis being soloable, you can freely go in, farm the bind bills or what have you, and then sell them through your bazaar to make some extra cash. And the place that I'm at right now, I need some extra cash. That's why we're doing this. So that's the next step. Come to Bedeau, Devoy, or Castle Oz. Talk to the goblin there. Trade him 50k. You get your item. So now we should be able to go back to the trail markings in Bestock Mines and hopefully enter Dynamis. Alright guys, here we go. There's an unusual arrangement of pebbles here. You will now be warped to Dynamis Bestock. Let's do it, guys. Let's see what happens. As always, Leroy style. That world is a land now draped in the blackest night. We can pass from one world to the other, but without the physical forms lost to us 30 years ago, there's a little we can do to intervene. Rogram is now the one who, no, the world has been divided into separate realms through the machinations of the new Shadow Lord. The new Shadow Lord? The Shadow Lord resides in the Zarqa of the other reality. However, I fear you would be marching to your death should you go confront him. I ask you to first obtain trophies from 4 of the alternate realms. We understand that there's little time to spare, but without a certain degree of power, it will be impossible to traverse the land the Shadow Lord holds in thralls. Show me your strength with the 4 trophies you bring back. Those whose fate is linked to this world will empower the Prismatic Hourglass to guide you. I betrayed him, and now I'm needed. The one who cut down poor Cornelia, the man cursed with the brand of traitor. Sure, I got everything I wanted, but what was left to me in the end? For one rash action, all I gained was an empty title and irreconcilable guilt. Poor Ulrich. I doubt you'll listen to the words of a traitor, and please, help free him from the bonds of his eternal night. Alright, here we are in Dynamis with stock. Let me see if I can summon trusts. Please, God, let me be able to summon trusts. Alright! So I gotta say, I really thought this area was instanced, so I'm surprised that this Viceland person in front of me is here. But I don't have a problem sharing the area. They don't seem to be moving either, so they may be AFK. Honestly, I may not even need these trusts. I'm not really sure. We're gonna find out though. Alright, so I know that there are specific dolls that I need to find and attack in order to extend my time. So let's just start killing and see what happens. Oh yeah, they died easy. That's good news. I'm missing like nobody's business. I'm hoping that that was an ability that he used and I don't just suck that bad. Really wishing that I had an AoE ability right now and just run through here and murder all these guys. Oh, and of course he stuns me right before I start attacking so he can get a couple cheap shots in. That was cold. Alright, so I think this is one of the time extending statues, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's so frustrating. Getting animation locked is just so 2003. Just like that. Can't move until the effect is over. I'm trying to remember which one of these guys actually dropped the relic armor. I'd really love to get the relic armor set for my thief and upgrade it. I'm pretty sure it's got some really good stats once it's upgraded. Guys are lining up. There's another one of those statues over there. Maybe that's the time extension one. Oh snap! I do have AoE. I completely forgot about that. So what's the stuff that I've gotten so far? Let's see. Some kind of cornet. What is a cornet? Okay. Oh! Well, look at that. That must be the, yeah, okay. Blue Mage Pants. Dude, I'm getting stuff and didn't even realize it. There's the Valor Cornet for Paladin. Awesome. Okay. Hype. I'm already getting relic stuff and didn't even realize it. I can see my inventory stacking up pretty doggone fast though. Ooh. Tell you, the next time I come in here, I'm most definitely going to set up an Aeolian Edge macro so that I can just AoE everything down, because that would make so much more sense. Alright, so there's some Summoner's Bracelets. Cool. You know what, we're just going to run through here and pick up a bunch of mobs, and then we're just going to AoE them down. And it's going to be awesome. Once again, animation locked, because this game is 16 freaking years old. Still can't move. Wow, I really thought I picked up more enemies than that. That's surprising. Use his blood weapon. You go right ahead there, friend. You know, all the extra blood you can get, I think. Oh, it's a bard. Look at this precious little harp he's playing. That's adorable. Like, your big dumb fingers could actually play any notes. Come on now. You've literally got Vienna sausages for hands. Am I the only one that thinks they look like they're trying to poop whenever they start casting a spell? It's really awkward. I'm gonna get it out. Alright, so there's another Adamant King image. Let's see if we can't use that one to our advantage. Maybe that's the time one, who knows. There you go. Come on. Hit the button. You can do it. Freaking Z'd with ground strike. Okay. So maybe I pulled too many. Okay, there we go. Apururu. Coming in with that clutch heal. This camera, I can do nothing with this camera. And for those of you out there right now thinking, well, Andy, if you just use a controller, this would be a lot simpler. You're right, okay? And I'm sorry, I didn't learn how to play this game on a controller because I didn't grow up playing it on PS2. I grew up playing it on PC, so my apologies. One of these days I'm gonna adjust to playing it with the controller and all bets will be off then. It'll be awesome. What is going on? Can't even move. Why can I not move? To use perfect dodge. Yeah, I died. I used perfect dodge and I still died. I have no idea why I got frozen and couldn't move. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand that one. Oh, I was right. Zevo Fall Splitter. There is a notorious monster over there. Yep, I thought so. Is that him? That's one of them. All right, guys. Well, we learned a lesson. Can't get too gung-ho, even at the level that we're at. All right, so really quickly, so we died, but we learned a good, valuable lesson. Hopefully, it helped you guys as well. Let's look and see what all we got here. So, the Ito, which is the beginning of the samurai relic weapon, which is awesome because I main samurai. So I got that. I got the Valor Coronet, it's the Paladin relic. The Itoli Tiara. Itoli. Okay, so that's for Dancer. Duelist Gloves, it's the Red Mage relic gloves. The Summoner Bracers, Summoner Gloves. Blue Mage Pants, Dark Knight Pants. Not bad. Not bad at all. Got Wootsor, Sparkling Stone, Infinity Core, 3 Slime Juices, which I don't know what those are. Forgotten Journeys. Yeah, got some stuff. Got 14 bind bills, so that's good, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what any of this stuff does, but I'm going to find out. That's really cool, though. Well, guys, that was fun. I'm hoping that this helped some of you guys to figure out how to get started in Dynamis. I know that the first 4 cities aren't really your cash cows. Those are just places that you go to kind of get those out of the way so that you can do Volcrum and Baburamu and Kufum, some of the easy or the higher level stuff. That's the place that you want to get. But you got to take this step before you can get to that step. So I'm going to do a little more research and figure out exactly where everything went wrong there. I'd love to know why I was animation locked. If anybody knows why I got stopped there and you want to put that in the comments, I would deeply appreciate it. Last thing, but certainly not the least thing, tomorrow night I'm going to be working on my fresh start video. I'm thinking on the Odin server. I'm going to give it a shot, get started, and I'm going to start fresh with a brand new character. I'm still deciding what race I'm going to go with, but I've got something in mind. We'll see how that works out. That video should be coming out next weekend, if not sometime this week. Kind of depends on my schedule if I'm able to get it edited or not. Outside of that, guys, just remember, if you enjoy the content out of this video, all odds point to the fact that you're back to the game, reasonably fresh, haven't played in a while, and are trying to brush up on the content that's come through since you left. That be the case, please give me a subscribe and click that notification button because I've got new Final Fantasy XI content coming out every week, trying to get all of my returning players who I love and adore back up to snuff with what's going on in this amazing game that has made such an impact on so many people's lives. Anyhow, this concludes my Dynamis run for the first time ever. If there's anything I can do better, let me know. Outside of that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.